This podcast may contain explicit language and maybe some other sexual things.
Viewer discretion is advised.
Welcome to G.A.S.E Radio, your home for gaming, anime, superhero news, and entertainment. Waft in and listen. Here are your hosts, Randy and Luigi. Excuse me.
All right, welcome to G.A.S.E Radio. Thank you again, Darren, for that beautiful introduction, not interruption like we said last time. Thank you again. You're doing great work, man. It's Luigi Bonanno and
Randy Lee Beasley. Don't forget to hire Darren for your professional voice artist needs. www.marlarhouse.com. MARLAR house.com. And don't forget, June 4th and 5th, Quad Cities Mighty Con in Iowa. And then there's one in St. Louis after that, then DuPage County. Then just come to the shows. It's going to be awesome.
holy shit, that list grew, man. I haven't even seen the list for this week's episode.
Yeah, this is
Holy fucking hell.
Pass me a controller and grab that beer. It's game time.
All right.
Oh, God.
Shit. I can't even fucking... Oh, there's going to be a new Star Wars third-person adventure game from EA.
Is it going to be like with Jedis and stuff?
Yeah,
like lightsabers?
a mix of everything, and it is a actual full-length story mode.
Oh, cool.
With some multiplayer battling. If the focus is on the game, rather the multiplayer experience.
You know, episode 3 wasn't like the best game in the world, but I did like what they did with the whole like Jedi lightsabers and like you're a Jedi through the entire thing.
Truth.
That's really cool.
And let's see here, son. I don't really have anything else for games, really. Shit!
I'm reading this and laughing.
We don't have... Oh, yeah, that's why I laughed earlier. Yeah, that's fucking it for games.
Wow, we blew through the games. All right, so for those of you Pokemon fans, we got Pokemon Go coming out this summer. We've got
This November, this fall.
Yeah, this November. Oh my God, I'm excited for it.
We're actually gonna go exploring.
Again, any of you guys that have been listening to this podcast, please try out Ingress. Ingress is gonna like have similarities to it, so this way you can get a feel for the game. Also, we've got the classic Pokemon jumping onto the 2DS. I think the 3-pack's $15. I think I read. And
sorry about the demon microphone. The table shook and.
Yeah.
At least the dungeon's clean now, though. Yeah. Yes, you can actually get the OG Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow on your 2DS or 3DS if you like 3D in your fuck ass. It's going to be great.
And Pokemon Bank, definitely a good purchase because if you purchase
it's free.
For the first year.
For the first year?
For the first year, and then it's $10 or it's $8 a year.
But it's worth it. Is just for Pokemon, it's not even the same one as that you can use for X and Y or Omega Sapphire. It's specifically for Blue, Red, and Yellow. That way, when you get Sun and Moon, you can have all 151 Pokemon for that game. Oh,
I had no idea, but I do know that the Pokemon Bank is it's actually a decent purchase because it gives you free Pokemon at random times. I got what are the 3 legendary rock Pokemon? Regirock, Regice, and Registeel. Gave them to me for free, all level 50, and I'm like, awesome.
So it is really good.
Yeah, it's definitely.
I'm so looking forward to Sun and Moon because we weren't supposed to get any new Pokemon games for a while, and now they're talking about Z in the spring, and now they're talking, we're gonna get Sun and Moon. So I'm just very fucking happy.
You know what I'm really surprised about is that they haven't been like making like the Emerald version or the Crystal version or any of that stuff. They haven't redone any of that, which that would be.
I know they already did. They redid Blue as leaf green, even though it was originally green in Japan, and they did friggin' Fire Red, and they did Soul Silver and Heart Gold, and I'm like, I want that on my 2DS too because you can actually battle Red at the hidden boss in fucking Silver. I want to do it.
The Poke Walker that you get with the Heart Gold and Soul Silver, that's one of the best parts about it because that's how you can catch a bunch of Pokemon without ever having to do anything. Mm-hmm. You can consistently play this game without ever having to touch the system, but I probably would touch the system.
Yeah, touch it really deep.
Deep inside.
All right, that's it. Let's move on to the friggin'... Let's move on to the friggin' the AAA section.
Anime. Animated. Assholes.
Possibly.
Okay, let's fucking look here. The Killing Joke, because it's animated assholes,
Right.
so it fits everything now. The Killing Joke, it leaked. We're going to be able to buy it on Blu-ray in August.
Oh, thank God,
So
yes.
that's coming up.
I'm buying that, and
I'm
then we're going to
excited.
sit down and watch that shit. Oh, God.
I might cry a little bit, to be honest with
That's
you.
okay. We'll both probably cry.
Yes, definitely cry. Let's see here. Oh, bam. No. Fuck.
Oh, no, guys.
That's literally all I got for animated anything.
All right. Well, I mean, you got any anime intro? Oh, I've been watching Big O. Big O has been
finally.
great.
Finally.
It's
Batman
Batman.
meets Gundam.
It's Batman meets Gundam, but with like a little twist, because like they're giant mechs, of course, but there's no space battles or anything like that. And these are like ancient robots, and nobody has their memories, so nobody knows where these things came from. They're just there fighting each other. It's great. It's that one's a good one. Have you taken a look at Ajin yet?
No, but I did see it today on Netflix when I was looking for something for us to watch. We ended up watching Looney Tunes Back in Action, and let me tell you, fuck that movie.
I'm telling you, Ajin probably not the best show to show Maddie, because it's with the black matter creatures. They,
No, the ones
they
you're talking
look
about.
like monsters. So
That's terrifying.
Oh, it's gonna scare the crap out of
Also,
me.
fun fact for everybody, we have the OG Ninja Zords
Oh,
and the
the-
White Falcon Zord, and then we have the freaking Luigi?
The Ninjetti Zord? Is it the
No,
Ninjetti?
that's Rocky's like personal Zord.
Right.
That's the shit. What the hell is it called?
Shogun Zord.
Shogun Zord.
Oh my God, I'm
we
so
got
stupid. Oh yeah, we started
the
playing with them.
OG Black Frog, OG Wolf, the OG Ape, the OG Bear, the OG Crane, and the White Ranger Falcon Zord. We talked about how we got it at our last current conventions. This isn't really anything anime related. This is more personal related. We didn't have too much for anime, so we're getting into this. They're all in Zord form right now. They're not in Megazord form, but by the end of this, we will turn them into Megazords.
Well, I mean, this. You know what? This brings me into a good segment for this. Has anybody heard that the comics are out for this? They actually finally released the comics for Power Rangers. I'm excited to start sitting
I
down
have
and reading.
issue 1 and 2. 3 comes
I
out.
saw the
believe,
preview.
Wednesday.
I saw the preview. I was like, "The hell is this shit?" And then somebody's like, "Oh, dude, it's a preview." I'm like, "Oh, now that makes sense."
I do have issue 1 and 2 if you want to read them.
Oh hell yes,
They're
dude.
fucking, they're excellent. But yeah, like I said, we just got off the path a little bit, but there really is nothing for animated this week.
Yes, you're listening to the superhero section. I killed Miss Piggy and ate her bacon for breakfast.
Okay, so superhero section. I like the new title card I put in there. It says POW instead of like the camera.
No, I didn't see it.
No, that was on the last week, and it's on this week now
Okay.
too. Phase 4. We were all skeptical and wondering about what's going to happen because once the Infinity War, even though the Russo brothers are changing the titles to those movies, they're
Right.
still happening.
They're never gonna stop them. There's gonna be a Phase 16.
Films are
it's never gonna
booked
stop.
till 2029
That makes sense.
before they even think of doing. They're thinking of having a second universe started for like how the comics had Ultimate and regular plus 19 other times. They're thinking of starting it that way to get new fresh actors in and not have to pay Robert Downey Jr. $40 million per role.
What a great world we live in, where you don't even have to pick up a book to read it anymore.
They're trying to get Wolverine for the second Marvel Cinematic Universe, like as like a deal like they did for Spider-Man, which I would love. Like I would love to have Fantastic Four,
Right.
the Mutants. I want the comics in movie form.
Right.
And have all these.
I've heard that
setbacks.
Hugh Jackman has been saying that this is probably going to be his last run. Like, after this phase is done, he's done.
Yeah, like
That's it.
they'll find someone new. Speaking of Hugh Jackman, he has a cameo apparently in X-Men Apocalypse, but that can't save the movie because all the reviews are saying it is shit. Like, they hinted clearly at the end of Days of Futures Past, the 3 original trilogy movies, where everything was reset. Brand new timeline, Jean was still alive, all this other shit happened. And you're like, okay. So now everything kind of makes sense. If you hear noise in the background, that is just us putting our Zords into Megazords. So clearly...
We like playing with things while we're talking to you.
So that's essentially it. Like... it's garbage. Like you can they're going way overboard with the whole rebooting thing. Apparently, you don't really see Mystique in blue in Apocalypse. She's more human and in
That's what I've seen
clothes.
through all the trailers. You don't. I'm guessing it's mostly just the fight scenes that you're gonna be seeing her like that.
Like transform, so it's just like they're not even doing Mystique justice anymore. So I'm just like, all right. And then I guess there's a bunch of plot holes once again, and they're just trying to cram the new actors down our throats because everyone else is done. So that's disappointing because I love Days of Futures Past, but I can't get behind this shit. I mean, I'm still gonna see
Fox has really been disappointing me with their movies lately.
Yeah,
they've been disappointing me since weren't they the ones that had the hand in Daredevil?
I believe so, yes.
Yeah, ever since Daredevil, they've really, really disappointed me. I wish they hadn't been, but yeah, you guys need to get your heads out of your asses and do something better with your cinematic universe because fucking Fantastic Four bombed. You had a great running with this X-Men. Now that's bombing. Like, you guys need to get your heads out of your asses and like.
Yeah, it's cool you brought back Singer for that little period of time, but now it doesn't seem like it's helping anything anymore.
Right.
Like, not at all. So.
Right, unfortunately.
Yeah, which it saddens us greatly. So let's move on. Let's see here. I'm gonna give Civil War a quick, non-spoiler as possible Civil War review at the end of this segment. But let's keep going. Let's keep going. Stick it in your bum like a fucking drum. There we go. Apparently, Olivia Munn, again with the X-Men topic, picked being in X-Men Apocalypse over being Deadpool's quote-unquote girlfriend.
What? Girl, you fucked up.
Yeah, you fucked up.
You fucked up. I'm straight and I'd bang Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah, like you messed up. Like, and it wasn't a normal girlfriend role. She was like a hooker and all this other shit and like...
Maybe she didn't want to be portrayed that way, which I can understand why you wouldn't want to be portrayed as a hooker, but at the same time, come on, dude.
She already shown her tits in Magic Mike. I don't see what the big fucking deal was.
Oh, she did?
Yeah.
Awesome. I need to rewatch that movie now.
I've never seen the movie. I just saw that scene.
I did.
Anyway,
I got dragged to it, of course. Women.
Let's see here. This is I want to read this part so bad, but I can't until the entertainment section. No, wait. Technically, Ninja Turtles are superheroes.
Yes.
So I'm gonna fucking read this. Everybody, ladies and gentlemen, there is a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles porn parody out now. 10-inch Mutant Ninja Turtles with such characters as Donatello, Michelangelo, Master Sphincter, and April O'Neil is just April O'Neil because she likes to kneel. That's it. What is the Foot Job Clan?
Yeah, the Foot Job Clan.
And that's all the names I've gathered.
What? Shredder had a specific name. What was Shredder's name?
I don't remember. I didn't watch the trailer.
Was it like Shred?
Well, I watched the trailer. Yeah, I just think it was Shred Her, like sex.
Right.
Like down the middle.
Right,
so,
kind of a thing.
I watched the trailer. That's I meant I didn't. You don't get every single name.
Sphincter.
Master Sphincter and Donatello. Beautiful.
Oh God.
Fucking beautiful.
Oh, I watched the trailer for that shit when Randy told me about it. Oh my God, I was dying. It looked like the old Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle costumes that were from the old movies, and then they just fucking turned around and made it all sexual and shit.
They're talking about like showing them their green ooze. And
yeah,
shit. It's just fucking great.
It's great.
All right, that's it. So Ben Affleck is now going to be a producer on Justice League.
Well, I mean, he did a decent job with this movie. I'm not gonna lie, with his Batman vs Superman project, but they kind of need to get back to the general gist of one comic book at a time, guys.
Then we got the Spider-Man Dead No More comic story kicking off. Gwen Stacy is back, alive again.
Oh yeah.
And there's some Russian villain.
How many times are we gonna read?
Yeah, like I don't know. So that's neat. that's cute.
Kill her again. Kill her with fire.
I hope they don't bring back Kraven because he's like literally the only villain I know of who's died and has been stayed dead. Don't bring back Kraven, guys. Don't shit your bed.
Kraven. Where was Kraven?
Kraven the Manhunter, Spider-Man's villain.
Right, but what was he in?
What do you mean? In the comics?
Oh no, in the comics she died.
This is talking about comics.
Right, I thought you were talking about a movie.
No,
I'm
no,
like,
no,
when was Craven? Craven would be a great thing to see.
They need to like do the green guy. They need to do the old villains better, but they need to start with new ones. But anyway.
Yeah, they do.
Let's see, what else do we get? Oh, yeah, well, that was it. I'm going to end this little section with my Civil War review. Here we go. I'm going to do it as quick as I can. Opens, 1991. You see the Winter Soldier getting some funky-ass codes given to him. They have a book, and it's like they unthaw Bucky, and he's like, and they say some crazy fucking words. One is freight car in Russian, or whatever the fuck. And he gets activated. His Winter Soldier mode gets activated. And then he goes onto a mission. He shoots a car. Very key part, because you see it a couple times. He shoots this car, and he takes out super soldier serum. Then you kick off Crossbones is trying to steal a classic comic book, kind of like villains trying to steal this poisoned fucking...
Right, nuclear warfare,
yeah, like
poison.
germ warfare or whatever. And Crossbones, that same Crossbones from Civil War, who shoots and kills, well, him and a possessed fucking Carter, Sharon Carter, shoot and kill him, but that doesn't happen. Spoiler, Captain America doesn't die. Bigger spoiler, no one dies. Well, civilians, innocent lives die, but none of the heroes die. So, that's neat.
Yeah, I only made it in, 5 minutes of the movie?
Why are you shaking?
5 minutes, maybe 10 minutes.
Stop shaking! The microphone is randomly fucking shaking, you piece of shit. People are going to hear you like, we're talking to... Shut up. Stop shaking. Okay, hold on. So Crossbones, his plan gets foiled, but then all of a sudden he's like, I'm gonna fucking blow you up, Steve Rogers. And he goes to blow him up, and then fucking Scarlet Witch is like, nope. So he's blown up and dying, and she's like holding this explosion, and he's like, ah! And then she throws him up in the air, and I guess the wind catches the drift, and he fucking goes into a building, explodes, and kills innocent people. Anyway, let me backtrack. They're in a fucking market full of innocent people fighting to begin with. And so he's about to kill himself, Steve Rogers, and a bunch of innocents. Scarlet Witch is like, no, saves Captain America's life and about 30 innocent people, but then blows up a building, and she kills like 12 or 15.
I mean...
Give or take, you gotta have some loss with your whatever.
Right, when you really think down to it...
Fire and rescue.
What was the bigger loss? The 12 people in the building or the 30 people that would have been on the ground?
Exactly.
Especially
Plus
with
Steve Rogers.
Plus Steve Rogers, who's already trying to help out as many people as humanly possible.
So then the next scene is you see a young Tony Stark saying goodbye to his parents, but then you find out it's not. The great special effects, by the way. The de-aging, the same thing they did with Michael Douglas for Ant-Man. Fucking amazing. Robert Downey Jr., his present-day self, is like, oh, sorry, this is all a computer program. This is how I wish it happened. Right. He didn't get to say goodbye to his mom. He didn't get to tell his dad he loved him or whatever. He said goodbye to his mom, but him and his dad were fighting that day like they always did. He didn't get to say goodbye to his dad. In the fake thing, he's at MIT. He's an alumni of MIT, and he actually ends up granting all the students there when he's there all the projects to be funded and shit. And he's like, this is how you get rid of traumatic memories and shit and whatever. And then that's all that happens. And then right after that, he goes into a hallway. You find out that him and Pepper Potts have broken up. And the reasoning you find out later is because, he blew up all the suits for her and everything, but then he just couldn't
live with himself.
He couldn't stay not Iron Man, and other stuff happens. Like the teleprompter when he's done giving his MIT speech, he's supposed to be like, and please welcome the founder of the project, Pepper Potts, and she's not there. So he's like, oh. So he goes to get some fresh air, go to the bathroom. Then there's this black woman, great actress, forgot her name. And she really is a great actress, though. She actually worked with Robert Downey Jr. in the past in a movie, which is great. And they meet up, and she thinks she's going to try to shoot him, because you find out, like, her son was killed in Sokovia. Okay. Avengers 2. When the thing fell to the earth, it like crushed and killed her son. Because there's a bunch of casualties. So Robert Downey Jr., she like fucking gets in his head, and then she walks away. And then that leads to the next part where Thunderbolt Ross, who you haven't seen from The Incredible Hulk, is meeting with everybody, and you see Vision in his sweater and everything, and they're talking. It starts off with Scarlet Witch still sad, and Cap tries to like comfort her and all this shit, and then he's like, "Mr. Stark is here." And it's Vision, who's Jarvis 2.0, aka Vision, is like, "Hey, also the Secretary of State here." That's right, Thunderbolt Ross is the Secretary of State now. We haven't seen him or heard of his daughter Betty, who is Bruce Banner's love interest in everything.
Right.
But now it's Black Widow. So you haven't seen him in a while. It's great to he's found out he had a heart attack and he's back and he got even more into politics and whatever. He's done with the Avengers, but he's the Secretary of State now. So he's like, hey guys, you're gonna have to all sign this. Mr. Stark agrees. He is the current leader of the event. Well, kind of the leader. He's one of the main authorities of Cap, and he's like, you guys need to sign accords. That way, in case shit goes wrong again, we have ways to throw the blame to other places and all this other stuff, and you have limits, and we get to tell you where to go and everything. And Steve Rogers is like, no. We should be able to go do what we need. And Steve Rogers is like, why the fuck would we sign this? What if we need to be here? And you guys are like, nah, go here instead. It's a great topic. That's why I'm Team Cap. Iron Man just has a guilty conscience, so he's like, we need to control ourselves. In the middle of all this, he gets a text from someone, and it's like, she's gone. She passed away in her sleep. So the next scene is fucking Peggy Carter's funeral. So he has all this shit on him. He's fucking crying, holding her casket. You see pictures of her and shit. And then finally, you find out, well, we know already, Sharon Carter, Agent 13, who lives across the hall from him in Winter Soldier, that's Peggy's niece. You find out, like, they actually find out, him and Falcon are at the funeral, and then they find out she's actually Sharon Carter, and they share a little moment, and Black Widow fucking shares a little moment, and then what the fuck happens next? A lot happens.
They have a giant sex orgy and join in with the Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yes.
That's what happens next.
So then the next scene, they're actually, it's like a UN meeting to actually sign the accords. Cap doesn't go, and everything happens. You meet frickin' Black Panther. You meet his father, who's the current king. Surprise, surprise. Bomb goes off, kills Black Panther's father. And
yeah, makes sense.
That goes off, and then like everyone's like, oh, it was fucking Bucky. It was Bucky. It was AKA the Winter Soldier, because there's like this little image of him going around. They're like, why would he do this? He's been missing. We couldn't find him. Him and Falcon are like, what the hell? Right. Sharon Carter, who now works for the CIA after S.H.I.E.L.D. fell, she gets in the info and Cap's in Bucky's apartment or whatever, and Buck's like, well, at first it shows him just getting fruit and being nice on the street. He really hasn't done anything wrong.
Right.
And people start recognizing him. He's like, shit. And then it shows Cap in his apartment, and then Bucky's like, I remember you. I kind of remember you, but I promise I haven't killed anybody. And Cap's like, well, people think you have, and they're coming for you. They're literally, like, then bam, they come through, and Steve keeps thinking he's going to kill people, and he doesn't. He puts his arm through the floor. You think he just fucking punched Steve Rogers' brains out. He grabs an escape bag and runs. It's great. It's a great scene. He finally jumps to the roof, and then Black Panther in his full suit. Oh, it's so fucking awesome. Starts attacking him and shit, and Cap chases him, and then it ends up in this crazy scene, because they're super soldiers. Winter Soldier and Captain America are super soldiers in the Black Panther costume. It gives you supernatural abilities, especially speed and strength and everything. They're all running. They're running faster than the fucking 45-mile-an-hour traffic. They're running and doing all this shit. They get apprehended by War Machine. He's like, no, you're all criminals now. You're breaking contract. You're all criminals. They get arrested. Bucky's in the prison, and you find all along this whole time this is going on, Zemo, not Baron Zemo yet, but Zemo, who is German in the comics or whatever, and he wears a pink mask. He's in this movie. He's tracked down and got the book from the beginning of the movie to fucking activate the Winter Soldier. You find out he actually apprehended the person that's supposed to speak with Bucky while he's in the prison or whatever, and turns out Zemo activates the Winter Soldier code, and Winter Soldier goes nuts, and Zemo escapes, and Cap they end up saving Winter Soldier and everything, and they get out of there, and the next part is they know where Zemo is going. I'm skipping ahead a little bit, but anyway, you fast forward, they know where Zemo is going, because Bucky tells them, hey, there's more Winter Soldiers than just me. I didn't kill anybody. I knew this was going to happen. I was going to get brainwashed. There's more Winter Soldiers than just me. So they're going to fucking go stop Zemo from activating the other Winter Soldiers. So they get to the airport. And before the airport scene,
okay,
Tony Stark's like, we need some help. A big title on the screen pops up, Queens, New York. And I was fucking like crying a little bit. Peter Parker walks up to his apartment building. He notices this fancy fucking car. He opens the door, and Tony Stark is talking to Aunt May. And it's fucking Peter Parker and Tony Stark finally together on screen. And Spider-Man steals the movie. He's that kid. He's 19, but he's playing like 16 or whatever. fucking great actor, and he's a gymnast, and
Really?
he does all this cool shit. Like, it's fucking amazing. And then Tony Stark essentially recruits him. So then, fast forward again, they're at the airport, and all this, they're about to fight, and all this cool shit, and then Spider-Man comes in, takes Cap's shield, and I'm fucking crying because it's so awesome. And it's the second Spider-Man suit you see in the movie. The first one's fucking hilarious. Tony Stark rips on Peter Parker. It's just fucking... It's just like God was like, can you even see out of this? And he's like, yeah, I can see out of it. Stop. It's great. There's lots of comedy and heart in this movie, man. And they go... they start fighting and shit. And Spider-Man's fucking hilarious throughout it. And Falcon and Winter Soldier, well, Bucky now, they kind of form this fucking hilarious friendship. Like, one part, they get their ass kicked by Spider-Man, and they end up actually getting rid of him, but they both fall through glass, and they fall. And Spider-Man, or fucking Falcon sends Redbird, his in the comic, he's an actual bird psychic, but in this, it's like a little robot AI thing, and it smacks Spider-Man in the fucking, like, face out the window. And then Bucky's like, you couldn't have... Oh, the demon's starting to breathe again. So Bucky's fucking like, you couldn't have done that earlier. And then Falcon's like, I hate you so much. And then it cuts, and they're fighting, and the general consensus is, like, they have to get to the fucking Quinjet that's in the hangar, so they need a big distraction.
Right.
So Ant-Man, Ant-Man's in this movie.
Ooh.
Ant-Man's like, all right, I'll be Giant Man now. Ant-Man. He turns into this giant monster, and fucking Spider-Man's literally like, holy shit! He's like, freaks out. So they're all fighting the giant Ant-Man and all this other shit, and they get by. Black Panther is catching up to... Vision shows up, because earlier in the movie, you hear Hawkeye's retired, and, like, Hawkeye actually breaks Wanda, Scarlet Witch out of, like, the new Avengers building, because Tony Stark had Vision keep her there in the lowdown to keep her and everyone safe, until she controls her powers better to avoid another incident and all this other shit.
Right.
Or until the Accords are all signed.
Even though it wasn't even her fault to begin with.
Yeah. So, Vision finally shows up. Well, Hawkeye breaks her out and traps the Vision, and then Vision gets out, and then fucking Scarlet Witch fucks Vision up and sends him, like, through the earth almost. Like, he goes through the building and goes into, like, the earth, and I'm like, oh, fuck, that's awesome. So Vision shows up, shoots at a tower, and almost crushes and kills Captain America and fucking Bucky, and then everyone's like, oh, okay. And then Black Widow switches sides and fucking keeps shooting and shocking Black Panther. Steve and Bucky take off, and then War Machine's after them, Falcon's after him, and Tony tells Vision everyone's tired, everyone else is tired out or beat, and Tony Stark, it's funny, he tells Spider-Man to stay down. He's like, okay, I'll stay down after fighting. He tells Vision to peck the Quinjet, so they have to do an emergency landing. He shoots his beam through the Mind Stone in his head, or whatever the gem is in his head. I think it is it's Loki's scepter, what gave everyone the power. Yeah, it's the Mind Stone. He shoots the beam. Falcon sees it coming. He ducks, and he, like, retracts his wings, smacks War Machine right in the chest, and War Machine fucking falls. Luckily, there's a heartbeat. Like I said, no one dies, but he's fucking paralyzed. He's no longer War Machine.
No
so
shit.
He's fucking paralyzed.
No shit.
They make it there. They make it to the place, and you find out there's, like, from the comics, there's this fucking underwater prison that Tony Stark helped fund, and all of his friends from Team Cap are locked up there. And then you also find out that the Baron guy who used the decoy dressed as Bucky to blow up everything, and they find the dead body of them. So now Iron Man knows that Cap was telling the truth, that Bucky didn't do it. So he's like, shit. So he feels super bad now. So he goes. Falcon knows where they're going, so he goes to the prison, disrupts the audio for a little bit, and Falcon reluctantly was like, fine, this is where they're going. Cap leaves, or Iron Man leaves. He has to secretly become Iron Man to not piss off Thunderbolt Ross and all this other shit. And then he gets there. They get to the base. We're almost done. He gets to the base, and Tony and Cap reconcile. They're like, I'm sorry, whatever. Don't let anybody know I'm here. This story's true. Let's find these other Winter Soldiers and stop them before everything goes to shit. Turns out, Zemo, who throughout the whole movie has been listening, you think he's talking to his wife. Turns out Zemo kills. There's fucking bullet holes in all the other Winter Soldiers' heads, and he's behind this fucking thick glass that nothing can penetrate because it was built for shit crazy, and Iron Man's like, I can eventually get through it. And he's like, this whole time, like, you find out a little bit later that his wife also died from Sokovia, because his dad and the family said, the Avengers said they would be safe there because they were a mile away, but when the ground got lifted up and it fell, it still
destroyed them.
It took him like 3 days to find the bodies, and his dad was holding his like kids and wife, and they were all dead. So his whole plan was to get the team to kill themselves, like to fight each other to the death. And the way he does this, he's also looking for intel on in 1991, the same time you see the car and Winter Soldier Bucky shoot the car and all this other shit. Well, it turns out, the biggest spoiler in the movie, that car Bucky shoots, and you don't see all the footage, is the Stark's car, and Bucky pulls Tony Stark's dad out of the car and fucking uses his metal arm and smacks him in the face like 3 times and kills him, throws him back in the car, goes around, chokes out Iron Man's mom and kills his mom, steals the super soldier serum, and drives away. And Tony Stark fucking sees this, doesn't give a shit anymore, beats the fuck out of Cap, and pretty much blows up Winter Soldier's fake arm. And there's this crazy fucking line in the movie.
Shit.
They're fighting, and Cap's like, "You're like, I can't let you do this." And Tony Stark, fucking Robert Downey Jr. is such a great actor. He has this line where he's just like, "He killed my mom," and then starts beating the shit out of Captain America even more. And then it ends
killed my mom.
with literally Cap shoving his shield into Iron Man's chest and like breaking it so his suit can't work. And he chooses Bucky over Steve, and he essentially quits the Avengers because Steve's like, "You don't deserve to use that shield. My dad made you that shield." Cap throws down his fucking shield. He no longer has the shield, and the movie ends. Stan Lee delivers a letter to Mr. Tony Stank. And War Machine, Tony built him this thing. He's starting to learn how to walk again. And he gets the letter from Cap, and essentially setting up Secret Avengers. But the movie ends with Falcon looking into the shadows. He cracks a smile because Steve broke into the prison. He's getting everybody out. And you can only assume he had help from Black Panther.
Right.
And then mid-credit scene is Bucky goes back into freezing until they can find a way to get rid of the Winter Soldier shit. They're in Wakanda, which even further proves that Black Panther is helping Captain America. Because, backtrack a little bit, Zemo was about to shoot himself because he thought his plan worked, and it kind of still did. He goes to shoot himself. Black Panther's like, I was doing this wrong for vengeance. I almost killed the wrong man. He stops him from shooting it. So we actually see Black Panther become like the actual hero he needs to be. And then you get Zemo gets locked up, and Martin Freeman's character is like, "You didn't win," or whatever. And then Zemo's like, "But didn't I? Because the Avengers are no more," and all this other shit. So that's the post-credit scene. It's him and Falcon. And then there's a after-credit scene where Spider-Man's all beat the shit. And there's a little funny, cute, awesome moment between Cap and Spider-Man where Cap's like, "Where you from, kid?" Because he actually has his Queens accent. And he's like, "Queens." And Cap smiles. And he's like, "Brooklyn." And he like walks away. So Aunt May comes in. And she's like, "I can't believe..." She's talking about a fight. And he's like, "Where was this other guy from?" And he's like, "Brooklyn." And then he's like, "Can you let someone do this to you?" And he's like, "Well, his friend was big. I mean, like, really big, like Giant Man." And then he finds the secret thing in, like, his new web shooter Tony Stark helped him made, and it's the Spider-Man, like, fate. It's like the Spider-Man symbol. It's so fucking cool.
That is awesome.
And that's how... And then it says, "Spider-Man will return," and then that's the end. There's no more movie, no credits or anything.
Right.
But
that sounds like
such
it's going
a
to be...
fucking great movie.
Oh, I started watching a little bit of it. I didn't get a chance to sit down and watch the entire thing. But from what I saw, it was pretty good. I only saw the first, 10 minutes of it.
And that's it for Superhero Section. Let's move into entertainment, because then we're done.
Mark 2, Warp 7, entertainment, engage.
Bam. So, General Tarkin will be in Rogue One. The actor's long dead, but they're resurrecting him via CGI. So Tarkin is back from the grave.
No shit, man.
It's going to be fucking amazing.
No shit.
And also, this is kind of entertainment, because it's going to be trying
I'm
to be
telling you,
planned for
one day we're not
Netflix.
even going to need actors.
I know. This is it's still Superhero Section, but it's also entertainment.
Right.
Carl Urban, who was in the Judge Dredd remake, wants to have an original series on Netflix with that character. So
I mean, that movie, it was all
hard
right.
R,
but,
and it was awesome. Better than the Stallone one. The Stallone one's trash.
definitely better than the Stallone one. But it was an all right movie, but I think it would do great as a series, because he played a really good Judge Dredd.
He never took off his helmet, because he never fucking takes off his helmet, which is great.
Right.
Let's see. James Wan is still apparently directing Aquaman. She posted a picture on one of his fucking social media accounts with him chilling and an Aquaman like picture in the background. I'm like, okay, that's cool.
Wait, who?
James Wan, he's a director of a bunch of horror movies and stuff.
Okay.
And he was going to be directing Aquaman. And when the DC shit's still going down the shithole,
right.
he's tried to reassure everyone that, no, I'm still directing, don't cry.
All right.
Justin Lin and LeBron James, Space Jam 2 is legit happening.
Yeah, I heard about this one. I'm excited for it.
I'm fucking excited.
Except for the fact of LeBron James. I heard he's a complete asshole.
Yeah, so we'll see how this gets done. I hope it gets done.
Hey,
right.
Hopefully his acting is better than,
True.
like...
The Craft remake isn't actually a remake, it's a sequel.
Wait, what?
The Craft with the witches and stuff. The one girl from
okay,
Waterboy.
Yeah. It's a remake?
They said it was a remake. It's actually a sequel, which is way better.
Oh,
Because
cool.
I hate all this remake shit.
Yeah, that is good, because the first movie was good.
Yep.
It was a good movie.
Puppet Master is being remade, which it
Dude.
needs a fucking remake, because even though it was good, it was just like, after the first one, it's just crap.
All of the horror movies need a good, like, reboot.
Non-Michael Bay reboot.
Right.
Because he produced Friday the 13th, he produced Nightmare on Elm Street, and it's like, whenever Michael fucking Bay... Even
too
with
many
the Ninja
explosions,
Turtles,
man.
Even with the Ninja Turtles. Too much bullshit, dude.
Which, like I said, that we need a good, like, every, like, 10 years or so, remake it. It's
Right.
good. Just update it.
Yes.
Just give us a little bit different of a story, and you're in business.
And then we find out from Tony Todd, Candyman himself, that Final Destination 6 is happening. I'm excited.
Really? I
love that series.
Wasn't the last one the final one?
No, they called 4 the Final Destination, and then they called 5 Final Destination 5, and it was actually the fucking prequel to the first movie, even though they had cell phones.
Well, it was what they were supposed to do was have a loop. It was supposed to loop.
The very end of Final Destination 5 is the plane from the first movie blowing up.
Right.
You see archive footage of all the characters and stuff, so I'm like, okay, so they have new cell phones, but then in one, they have, like, bulk crap cell phones. Whatever, it's fine.
Yeah.
You'd think you'd fucking pay attention to that and get some broken, not usable cell phones from your thrift store and use that in your movie, but whatever, I'm excited it's happening still.
Yeah, it's still good. I was just thinking about Final Destination, to be honest. Great movies.
The Mighty Morphin Power Ranger suits. Technically, superhero section, but at the same time, more entertainment. I think,
This one's
it's a
entertainment.
TV show.
Right.
Yeah.
I like the way the suits look. I just hope they don't. I hope they don't fuck it up.
And I hope they're not all CG. They don't need to be fucking
Because
CG.
I've heard rumors of them saying that now it's supposed to be some kind of alien technology. It was always alien technology.
Exactly. And the thing, we found out why that web series, MMPR, actually isn't happening, because the suit Saban's making looks just like the girl, the Blue Ranger from the web series that they can't even release episode 1. So Saban definitely was like, hey, you guys, either Saban copied off of them and then they're like, fuck you, don't do this, or Saban was working on his movie and was like, it's way too similar to what we're doing, stop.
Which I love this one series that he made, but that guy can go fuck himself. He's arrogant.
Which one?
He's Saban.
Oh, yeah.
He's arrogant.
He's
He's
homophobic.
racist.
He's a piece of shit.
Yeah, he's homophobic. That guy made the original Green Ranger leave the show because he kept calling him a queer and a fag on, like,
The Blue Ranger, Billy.
Yeah,
David Yost.
He kept calling him a fag and a queer. That's not cool.
Jokes and shit.
Yeah,
No.
jokes and shit. No, I mean, I can understand saying some jokes around your friends, but they have to be your friends first, not your coworkers.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's a bad situation.
right. And I've heard, like, every series that he's had a hand in, everybody's hated him. Like, he's a complete asshole. Even Austin.
Even the cast of VR Troopers said he was a pain to work with. And that
Austin
lasted,
St.
like, 2
John
seasons.
said he was a fucking asshole. Yeah. And look at Austin St. John. Yeah. I mean,
he is like, I watched some more recent shit and he's apologized for all the bullshit he said in the past.
Okay.
So I from the very first podcast to now, you're all right now. You're cool with me now, man.
Right. Cool. I mean, we've all had our asshole moments. I've had mine. I'm sure Randy's had his. But, dude, you got to grow up sometime and get out of it, and you got to stop being an asshole to your coworkers. You really do. Because we want these movies to be made, and we're not going to get these movies made if you keep fucking pissing everybody off, man.
Truth. We got young Han Solo has been cast for the upcoming Han Solo movie, being played by Alden Ehrenreich.
There's a solo Han Solo movie?
Yep.
What?
Disney's going to be making anthology films that take place within the continuity.
Well, no, I knew that. I didn't know about this new Han Solo film.
The next one after Rogue One is a Han Solo standalone. Very excited. Very excited. Let's see here. They're rebooting Interview with the Vampire, and it's going to star Jared Leto in the Brad Pitt role.
Well, Jared Leto's a good actor,
Yeah,
so
I'm not complaining.
Right. I have to see the first one. I tried sitting down for it, and I just never got through the entire thing.
Let's see here. Fast and the Furious 8 is going to be the first film to legally and not CGI or set film something in Cuba. They're like the actual first movie where the Cuban government's like, yeah, come on down,
right,
drive in our streets and have fun.
Right, because we just signed that treaty with them, and we're allowed in their country for the first time in, 70 years?
Well, more or less. The entertainment aspect, Cuba was always like, you can't show us in bad light. And when they saw the script and everything, it's just showcasing Cuba. So that's pretty fucking cool. They're down there filming right now.
They've highlighted Mexico in their movies. They've highlighted Tokyo.
Brazil.
I've never even seen these places or cities as like bad, and they
last one,
they highlighted everything
Dubai.
good about them.
Yeah, it's great.
Right. They're wonderful movies.
They need it.
I need to see number 7 still.
Oh, it's a tearjerker.
I heard.
It's a fucking tearjerker, man. This is entertainment also. This is superhero. We can blend. Because real quick, the Black Widow movie is a go. They're doing a solo. Marvel's committing to a solo, which they need.
I figured they were going to do something like that.
Because now, more or less, they can have other Marvel big heroes be in these movies because they're so established. It makes sense to have them in there now. But so you'll probably see Hawkeye, maybe even Captain Rogers or something.
Right, and they've been doing really.
I didn't say Captain America. I said Captain Rogers because Secret Avenger. He's no longer Cap anymore, ladies and gentlemen.
Right. But I really hope that they portray her really well instead of just making her like some kind of sex appeal movie. Yeah. Like that's gonna be fucked up.
The Russo brothers made her a great character as opposed to Weed and everybody, where she was always like, "Look at my titties."
Right. Which I mean, we're guys, we're not complaining, but at the same time, we want an actual movie.
I want the good character to have a good story.
I want to see some titties and see her kick some ass. I mean, that's what it's all really about.
Netflix news is entertainment. You have to watch. I don't know if you have or not. The series Fried on Netflix is about a bunch of fucking teenagers and shit working at a fried chicken joint. Fucking hilarious. I watched the first 3 episodes. Fucking hilarious.
No shit. I gotta watch it.
I recommend it. So it's so good. It's fucking amazing.
Fried, like is it fried chicken?
Like fried chicken. That's the name of the show. And we'll end this with the last thing. It is entertainment because it's kind of sad but also kind of cool what they do with it. The Tower of Terror is, after all these years at the Disney parks, being taken down and replaced.
It's unfortunate.
So that's the entertainment side because it's a ride.
Because isn't that one of their
about it?
Isn't that one of
attractions?
Yeah, their
like
oldest
the Twilight
attraction.
Zone. It's the Twilight Zone's Tower of Terror.
Right.
But now they're making a Guardians of the Galaxy ride out of it. So that's the thing. Like, I'm entertained, but I'm also like, they could really fuck this up.
Right. That's kind of like what's going on in my head right now because that's your oldest attraction. People go there.
One of the very oldest from that park because that park's been like MGM Studios and now it's Disney Hollywood Studios. There's a new name coming to it.
Right. That's one of your oldest attractions, and people go there specifically just for that. I don't know why they
need to take that down because once Star Wars lands open, do you really need to have part of your Hollywood Studios still dedicated to Star Wars when you have a whole fucking area for Star Wars? Why wouldn't you just take?
Because that's more money. That's more thing. Because
you have to go here to ride this exclusive Star Wars ride. Then you go to this Star Wars line if you want to drive the Millennium Falcon. I want to drive the Millennium Falcon so bad.
Let's drive a Millennium Falcon, man. But yeah, I mean now they're just throwing all their superhero stuff into it, the Marvel stuff, which I understand you're making money on it, but and there goes a fucking Megazord.
The Ninja Zord just flew by.
But yeah, dude, I mean I have a funny feeling they're gonna take out all their old attractions and just put it in a bunch of superhero crap.
They're gonna just focus on like
it's gonna be
Pixar
like fucking comic book
Marvel,
world, man.
Yeah. And I'm not complaining.
I mean, I'm only
some
complaining.
Things at Disney need to stay.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Like,
I don't know. I love Disney.
Well, I mean, their biggest things now are their Disney princesses and Marvel. Like they're.
Because I'm just gonna say, when my second child is born this coming January.
Did they say if they were gonna do the same thing that they did?
I want to take he or she with Madison and Amber to Disney and have that classic Disney experience. Not fucking others. Spider-Man pooping on everything.
Right.
Even though Spider-Man's at fucking Universal Islands of Adventure. Whatever. You
Right,
get what
whatever.
I'm saying, Holmes.
But I forgot what I was going to fucking say. God damn.
You were going to say, well, it's time to wrap this podcast up because we're going to go make some fucking delicious pizza and eat some
And we're going to eat it, and we're not going to be thinking of you. It's
Yep.
going to be delicious, and you can go
Homemade
fuck
pizza,
yourself.
And you guys can just suck a fucking elephant's cock.
Oh, God.
This has been Randy Lee Beasley.
And Luigi Bonanno. Take it away, Darren.
You've been listening to G.A.S.E Radio.